We're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our third segment, which is going to be continuing my power rankings here at the midseason mark of this year, going over numbers 21 to 30. Obviously, a little less exciting than the first two segments I did, which was 1 to 10 and then 11 to 20, but still some noteworthy teams to talk about. And if you want to hear your team, me giving my take on them, stick around as well. But before we do that and get into it, I would like to ask you again to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers that ensure that your question does get read on the air. Please hit the link, gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show. It really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. And let's get back into the show for today. All right, so we're going over our third segment, our third part of this power rankings here, going over numbers 21 to 30. And again, even though it's the lower part of the power rankings, there are still some noteworthy teams to talk about, still some noteworthy things to address. And yeah, I wanted to go over it, so let's get into it. Number 21, we have one of the most polarizing teams of this entire year, the Pittsburgh Pirates. They just had their own guy, Paul Skeens, start the All-Star game last night, and of course he has become one of the biggest superstars in the league just in a few short months. I mean, got drafted last year. So just the way that he's been able to change baseball in Pittsburgh, been able to change the culture there, has been something really incredible to watch. And honestly, the hype is for real. I mean, I watch this guy and I'm just floored at how effortless he throws 99 miles per hour, how incredible he just is as a pitcher. And yeah, just is an incredible talent. And as someone I very much enjoy watching as a baseball fan, I really think it's fantastic. And yeah, overall, is just someone really fantastic to watch and appreciate as a talent, the way that he is able to throw. But overall, other than him, they have some really good pieces as well. Jared Jones, Mitch Keller are two really great pieces in the rotation, and that should be their top three for the next 15, not 15, that's a little long, I'd say, maybe next 10 years. And the offense has some pieces as well. Connor Joe's been good. Henry Davis, Andy Rodriguez should be back soon. You also, of course, have Brian Reynolds, Andrew McCutchen, who isn't doing the greatest this year, but still, of course, is Andrew McCutchen. Can't really ever count him out. So lots of like on this Pirates team. I think you need to acquire some bats, maybe some at the deadline now, maybe some in the offseason next year, and I really do think next year is the year for you guys. I think once you get some more bats, once everyone's fully developed on that team, once you get guys like Andy Rodriguez, Henry Davis, Tamar Johnson coming up, I really do think that this Pirates team could be really killer. And man, that top three of that rotation can go toe-to-toe with anyone. And if they sneak into the playoffs, they are scary because of that pitching rotation. Very scared. 22, we have their NL Central compadre, the Chicago Cubs. Man, the Cubs have been up and down this year. I at one point had them in the top 10, and now I've consistently had them in the bottom 10 for the past few weeks now. Just this team, I don't know what the direction is. There's been underperforming hitters, underperforming pitchers. Bullpen's not been great. Greg Counsell, who got the biggest manager contract ever, has not done well in Chicago, to say the least. So overall, this Cubs team is very interesting to think about, and I just don't know where they go from here. I do think that they kind of have to reset, trade everyone on 1 to 2 year deals, everyone they don't see as an immediate part of your future for the next 5-10 years or so, and sign some more people in the offseason. You're the Cubs, you have money, you're an attractive destination. Believe me, I don't know what player wouldn't want to play in Wrigley Field in front of Chicago fans. So be able to reset your team and just go ahead at next year. I just don't think this is your year, and yeah, just really unfortunate because I think they have a lot of talent. I really love their starting rotation. Imanaga, Assad, Ben Brown, Jameson Tyler. I really like the rotation they built there. Just unfortunate the way that it's all gone about this year. 23, we have the Washington Nationals. Nationals are kind of in the same boat as the Pirates, where I think they have a ton of talent on their team. It's just next year's their year. Once everyone comes up, I really think they're going to be much better. You, of course, have James Wood, who just came up, but wait for, Dylan Cruz. Wait for Robert Hassel. Wait for Harleen Susano whenever he's up. So just wait for these guys that have developed your prospect capital for a little while now and make sure they go up. You have a lot of great talent at the major league level. Jake Irvin, Mitchell Parker, Josiah Gray, Mackenzie Gore, all fantastic young pitchers. C.J. Abrams manning the hitting core. With James Wood, who's just called up. Keeper Ruiz, a very solid young catcher. So there's still a lot to like about this Nationals team. It's just, I think when everyone comes up, signs people in the offseason, you'll have Catcher Corbin's money off the books. I'm sure you can sign a ton of free agents if you wanted to. I'd say the Nationals are an attractive destination as well. Maybe you break the entire internet and re-sign Juan Soto, which would be hilarious, but I assume not. But I think next year's really their year, and I think I'll be talking about them as a true, legit contender next year. Not excited as a Mets fan for that day. Next at 24, we have the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers have all the making in the world to be a very good team. It's just man, if they struggled this year. Their rotation is absolutely incredible with a top two of Tarek Skubal and Jack Flaherty that are elites, but their offense has really underperformed this year. Parker Meadows, Colt Keith, Spencer Torkelson, guys I continue to mention on the show for a good reason. Three young bats who are high prospects, very highly thought after that the Tigers thought would be big parts of their team this year and in the future, who have all really not performed up to their standards. Really have not done great, and I think if even two out of those three guys could have been really good hitters and lived up to the expectations, the Tigers would have been a fantastic, fantastic team. And they just haven't. Tarek Skubal's all by himself, probably going to win the Cy Young on a horrible Tigers team. And now, because of that, rumors are starting to swirl. Are the Tigers going to trade him and get 2 to 3 major league bats back? People are saying they should. I don't really think so. I think Skubal's the type of player that you never trade unless you get prime Mike Trout or something. I think that's how good Skubal is as a pitcher, and I would extend him right away. But, you have to have these conversations now because of the situation the offense has put you within the standings. So, overall, this Tigers team has a ton of talent. It's just, man, if they underperform this year. 26, I have the Los Angeles Angels. Sorry, I skipped 25 completely. 25 is the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are bad. I don't know what happened to them this year, but man, they are not looking great for the future. It's looking like their core is going to be demolished. I think everyone on a 1 to 2 year contract, not named Vladimir Guerrero Jr., is going to be traded. Yusuke Kikuchi will be gone. I think that's really the biggest one as well. Justin Turner will be gone. They'll try to get rid of George Springer, even though nobody probably wants that contract. So, overall, man, this Blue Jays team has been underperforming this year. I don't know what the problem is. They should. All the talent in the world is there. It's just people have not performed up to the standards. People have not performed up to the way that they expect them to in a Blue Jays uniform. It's been really disappointing for Blue Jays fans. It really has not been great. And overall, just a very disappointing season for them, in a season where they carried a franchise high payroll. Very, very unfortunate, and just a sad way for this team to go out and this core to go out. I think they'll be entering a very hefty rebuild very soon, and I think the future of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette will be determined very soon as well. They already got rid of one part of the core in Kevin Biggio. Of course, Biggio is not on the level of Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. because of the way he's performed these past few years, but still, obviously was a big-time prospect, and it is unfortunate that he has to be gone. 26, I have the Los Angeles Angels, who I said before because I skipped over a number for some reason. The Angels are bad. Once Mike Trout got out for the rest of the year, we knew that they would be really, really bad. Actually, I think Trout will be back maybe the end of June, start of August, but at that time, it'll be too late. I don't think this team is very good. They don't have a lot of talent. They have a nice core building with Zach Neto, Logan O'Hoppe, Nolan Schanuel, but that's kind of it, and they need some pitching. They need to spend money. And I just don't know what the future looks like for this Angels team. I don't know how many years it's going to take for them to get back into contention. But what I know is, please, for the love of all baseball fans and Mike Trout, get out of there. Go to a competitive team. We all want to see you in the playoffs. Please do. Ohtani did. He got out of that hellhole. Please do it yourself. 27, we have the A's. The A's have Brent Rooker and Mason Miller. Both are really good. Brent Rooker should have been an all-star. Yeah, that's kind of it. Not much else to talk about with the A's. They're really bad. Not as bad as we expect them to be because of Mason Miller and Brent Rooker, but still have been bad and have not been a team that is worth talking about much more than this. Again, we kind of all expected this. 28, we have the Miami Marlins. Marlins are bad now. They're going to get worse. The trade deadline, every single person with value, I'd say, is going to be traded. Jazz Chisholm, Tanner Scott, Josh Bell, Jake Berger. I'm sure other people as well in that rotation. Jesus Luzardo would have been traded if he didn't get hurt. So, overall, this Marlins team is horrible. They're going into a deep, dark rebuild. I don't think they'll be competitive for maybe the next 3 to 4 years. And, just another rebuild for a continually tortured fan base. Man. 29, we have the Colorado Rockies. Rockies are showing some signs of good. Like, Ryan McMahon's become a superstar. They've called up some of their young players like Ezekiel Tovar, Adel Amador, Jake Beck. They just drafted Charlie Condon, who I think could be a real contributor to this team next year as well. So, there's a lot looking right for the Rockies team, just not this year. They are bad. They're going to continue to be bad. But look, they have a future. They have some sort of potential players that I think could be really good. So, that's nice because you don't really have that much as a Rockies fan. So, it'll be interesting to watch them in the future. 30 is the White Sox. They are absolutely awful. One of the worst teams I've ever seen with my own eyes. Just absolutely horrendous. not much to say about the White Sox. They don't have much going for them. They are absolutely awful. So yeah, that is it for our 1 to 30 power rankings here. This is my power rankings at the mid portion of this year. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know all your thoughts either in the live chat or in the individual videos I am, of course, going to post on YouTube. And give me my thoughts. Who was snubbed? Who was a bad position? Who was a good position? Who was, tell me how awful I did through all that. So going into our fourth segment now, which is going to be talking about, get that up here, the All-Star Game, and recapping it. It did happen last night. And we're just going over that, all the stuff that happened there, and we'll see you after that. So thanks, and bye.